Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on September 19, 2023. What is the controversy over the EU migration deal with Tunisia? The Guardian, EU blackmail approach to migration, offer millions for a deal legitimizing authoritarian regimes. France 24 English, EU states expressed incomprehension at Tunisia migration pact, says Borrell. The Guardian, the Irish Times view on the migrant crisis. Europe has done a grubby deal with Tunisia, the Irish Times. The Irish Times, analysis, concerns raised in Brussels over EU-Tunisia migration pact. Police investigating deaths of two aspiring models in apartment buildings days apart. The Independent, families fear serial killer is on the loose as models Melissa Mooney and Nicole Coates are found dead within a Daily Mail, models Melissa Mooney and Nicole Coates' mystery deaths in their own apartments days apart spark serial K. The Sun, families of Melissa Mooney, Nicole Coates seek answers after found dead in Los Angeles. KABC TV, two models found dead in LA apartments days apart. Russia-Ukraine war live, major fire at Lviv warehouse after attack, Ukraine says. Zelenskiy questions Russia's place at UN. One-year-old died of apparent fentanyl overdose in New York City nursery. Sky News, daycare owner charged with murder of one-year-old boy who overdosed on fentanyl. Metro.co.uk, owner of daycare where boy died of suspected fentanyl exposure dubbed depraved. The Independent, family of NYC tot who died after inhaling fentanyl at daycare hires attorney. Siblings now afraid to go to school, dad says. New York Post, NYC daycare owner called two drug operation accomplices including her husband before finally calling 911. Former Belarus hit squad member to stand trial in Switzerland. Western leaders defend slow progress to end global inequality as UN summit starts. The Guardian, unsustainable development goals in spotlight at General Assembly. Al Jazeera English, well behind at half-time. Here's how to get the UN Sustainable Development Goals back on track. The Conversation, can the SDG goals still be saved? Financial Times, social protection and just transitions are critical to supporting countries in achieving sustainable development. United Nations General Assembly leaders look for unity over crises. BBC, UN General Assembly, what to expect as world leaders gather this week. Al Jazeera English, global tensions to be apparent as ever at 78th UN General Assembly, France 24 English. France 24 English, the Irish Times view on the UN General Assembly, the world's divisions on show, the Irish Times. The Irish Times, UNGA briefing, Biden, Zelenskiy and what else is going on at the United Nations. Russia-Ukraine war, Russian lines breached, says Ukraine. Zelenskiy to meet Brazil's president, as it happened. The Guardian, Ukrainian troops claim to have liberated Bakhmut village from Russia. The Independent, Ukraine's army commander claims 3 elite Russian brigades, crushed, in east. Al Jazeera English, Putin using elite airborne troops as line infantry to stop Ukraine gains. Evening Standard, Russian defensive lines breached in capture of 2 villages in east, Ukraine says. Trump abortion backlash spotlights a Republican balancing act. BBC, Donald Trump insists hell negotiate with Democrats on abortion. Debris of missing F-35 fighter jet found in South Carolina field after search. The Independent, missing F-35, U.S. military asks for public's help to find jet. BBC, debris found from F-35 jet in South Carolina after U.S. pilot ejected. BBC, debris of U.S. F-35 fighter jet found a day after pilot ejects from warplane. Libya protesters set fire to mayor's home in anger over Derna flood deaths. The Guardian, Libya flooding, recovering and identifying the dead in Derna, BBC News. BBC News, Libya, floods fact sheet number 1, fiscal year, FY, 2023 Libya. Relief Web, opinion, Libya showed what happens if we ignore aging dams. The New York Times, Libya, woman's desperate dig through rubble for missing family. Iran prisoner swap, U.S. citizens freed in $6 billion deal. BBC, 5 Americans head home in £5 billion prisoner swap deal with Iran. Channel 4 News, Freed American decries Iran's vile path to profit of holding foreigners hostage. The Guardian, US. Iran News, Iran-US prisoner swap, who are the detainees being released? English News, N18V. CNN News 18, First FT, US and Iran complete prisoner exchange in diplomatic breakthrough. Justin Trudeau, India rejects role in Sikh leader's death in Canada. BBC, credible evidence, India behind alleged assassination of Sikh leader, says Trudeau. The Guardian, Canada claims Indian government assassinated Sikh leader. Sky News, opinion, the other K factor, an issue for India or distraction for Trudeau. NDTV, Canada expels an Indian diplomat over possible link to Sikh slaying. India says that's a... This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.